Hi, it's Alicia here in the Bowman's Library in the children's room with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So it is February 1st. How crazy is it that January's gone? But with February 1st comes Black History Month. So for our theme this week, we are going to be looking at some Black and African American authors that are just amazing. So we have 6 books written by these authors, so let's get started. Our first one is The Parker Inheritance by Varian. So when Candace is forced to move from Washington, D.C. to her mother's hometown of Lamar, South Carolina, she is not happy about it. Living in her late grandmother's house, she decides to explore the attic. When she's up in the attic looking at all the things that are up there, she finds this mysterious letter that was sent to her grandmother like 50 years ago. And this letter promises her grandmother that if she solves this mysterious puzzle, that not only will her grandmother get a treasure, but the town will as well. As she gets curious about this, she starts to question not only her mom, but other people that live in this town. And she soon starts to piece together that things did not go very well for her grandmother, and there was a pretty horrific and devastating ending. Candace, though, along with her new friend and neighbor, Ben, she decides that she wants to pick up the pieces that her grandmother left behind, and she wants to figure out the deal with this letter. As they start digging, though, they soon uncover secrets that the town and its people want to forget. This book moves between the past and the present, and you'll be solving this epic puzzle mystery right alongside Candace and her new friend Ben, The Parker Inheritance. The Last Day of Summer by Lamar Giles, and I love Lamar Giles. He lives in Virginia. He's from Richmond. He knows what exactly is going on in our state. So it's the last day of summer for cousins Otto and Sneed. It is the last day before school starts, so it's their last day of summer. Known as the legendary Alston Boys of Logan County, they have spent their whole summer solving mysteries, outwitting their rivals called the Epic Alston Girls, and they are winning literal keys to the city. Not wanting their summer to be over, they wish for more summer, and it actually comes true. Because they find themselves, not only just them, but the whole town is frozen in time. Everyone is literally trapped in a moment in time. It's going to be up to Otto and she to figure out what exactly is going on, and they have to save the town and the people that live there, and they have to be able to move forward in the future. This humorous mystery with some good versus evil thrown in for good measure will have you turning page after page, wanting to know what everything is going to go down, and you might actually find yourself literally laughing out loud. This is the first in a series. There's going to be another one coming out. I know, I cannot wait. Last Day of Summer. Genesis Begins Again by Alicia Williams. So when Genesis gets home from school, she is not surprised to find her family's belongings all on the front yard. Because once again, they have been evicted and they are being forced to leave where they live. This is not the first time, though. Her father, unfortunately, is an alcoholic, and he also has a gambling problem, which leads to them not being able to pay their rent. When he gets a promotion, though, in his job, they move to this upscale white suburban neighborhood, and things start to change. Genesis finds herself making friends at school for the first time. She actually gets to join choir, but she also finds herself being exposed to looks and stares from other students that she had never seen before. Genesis finds herself hating herself because she thinks she is too dark. She would do anything to make her skin lighter, and she really wants to relax her hair and completely change her look. As she slowly starts to learn to accept who she is, though, and to appreciate herself, Genesis finds that not only accepting who she is, but also realizing that so many other people don't see her for the outside, but for who she is as a person. This amazing coming-of-age story will leave you breathless. Genesis Begins Again. The Stars Beneath Our Feet. And if you like Legos, this one has a ton of Legos. So Lolly is completely lost as he's dealing with the death of his older brother, who was killed as a part part of neighborhood gang violence. One of the main ways he has been coping has been through building his own Lego city, using the sets he gets from his mom's girlfriend. And this city soon starts to get so big that he has to move it, not from his apartment, to the rec center in the neighborhood because it is just getting crazy. Things seem to be turning around, but Lolly soon finds himself being recruited by the same gangs that his brother was involved in, and they start to follow him around, even though he wants no part of that life. But saying no could even be more dangerous than saying yes, and Lolly has a choice to make. Even his best friend Vega decides to join one of these gangs. This realistic book is amazing, especially if you like works by Jason Reynolds, or you just have a passion for Legos, because this book, again, I promise you, has a ton of Legos. Stars beneath our feet. And speaking of Jason Reynolds, Miles Morales' Spider-Man. So, Jason Reynolds brings to life Peter Parker's successor in the world of Marvel. So Miles Morales is trying to be a normal kid. He's going to this elite boarding school, and he just wants to hang out with friends. His best friend, though, wants him to use his superpowers for no good on the streets. But Miles isn't so sure exactly what he wants to do with his superpowers, or even if he wants them at all. When his dreams and reality start to mix together, though, he finds himself sucked into a mystery that only he can solve, and he will need to use those pesky superpowers when he gets into this battle of good versus evil. This is an adventure that will keep you turning the page and will make you rethink everything you know about Spider-Man. There is a movie based off this book, so if you've seen the movie, there is a book. So this is Miles Morales' Spider-Man. And our last one is one of my personal favorites. This is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor. So this is an absolute classic. Cassie and her family are living in Mississippi during the 1930s, which is also the time of the Great Depression, so things are kind of hard. They own a small piece of farmland, which is not very common for the time or place when it comes to being a black farmer. Cassie experiences racism and discrimination on a daily basis, from not being able to attend the white school, which is way closer to her house, and there is actually a bus that takes them, while she is forced to walk to school. And there are also certain stores in town that she can't even go into. When tempers start to rise between the whites and blacks in town, Cassie and her family find themselves taking a stand that could have devastating consequences on them, their land, and their livelihoods. But you have to stand up for what you believe in. This amazing story will have you going through a whole spurt of emotions, and you will fall in love with Cassie and her family. This is the second in a series, but you can read this book by itself as a standalone. Again, it's pretty much amazing. So this is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. So these were just 6 of the books that we have here at Bowman Library that are written by Black and African American authors. So we invite you to come on down, explore what we have. We can help you find that perfect book. And I hope you have a tune in next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight.